Alright guys, so today we are installing BREMBO brakes on our new Edge Coyote swap. Of course we have more power, so we need better brakes. So these are brakes I painted. I'm not sure if I had a separate video or if it'll be in this one, but I painted these. These are actually off of the Cadillac ACS. And we have a kit mailed to us that we'll be able to drill out the spindle. I mean, we will be able to avoid drilling out the spindles. So some people you'll see do this, they drill out their spindles to fit the larger bolts. We'll be able to avoid that simply by using these. So you'll see they're a little offset. So what we'll have to do is get those calipers up there and kind of get a fit for where the holes need to be aligned in the spindles, and then we'll tap these guys in. So if you look, there's actually some of those already in there. So what we'll have to do is from the back, we'll flip this guy over. We'll have to thread the bolt in slightly and then give it a few taps to knock those ones out that are in there. So we'll use our larger guy for that. And we should be good. Alright, so after tapping this guy in, the bolt should be able to go, I have a ton of anti-seize on my hand, ignore that. The bolt should be able to go all the way through. So that's what I was trying to do with the Dremel, was clean out this back lip so that the bolt, when bolted, can go all the way through. So we'll see how I did. Alright, so here's how our Brembo is going to look mounted. To those of you thinking, damn man, why didn't you put these guys in before painting? Because if you look at this rough paint job, I didn't think of it, that's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to have to go back and refinish all this paint before I actually, so I'm going to sand off the residue from the glue and everything, and then I'll refinish all this paint before I actually mount them. But right now I'm just kind of test fitting. So we'll see how the rotor now fits. And we'll throw the pads in too, just to test fit. All right guys, so now we have those inserts in. So basically what I found myself doing was I put them in, I tapped them in with this sledgehammer, just by supporting it on this block of wood. And then I had to cut out the back just so that the bolt was clear. And so you may not have to cut out as much as I did, you may have to cut out more, it just depends, I guess. This is what worked for me, and so I did that with both. So you see the other one here, this is the one I was trying with first, and I was dropping it and all kinds of other stuff. So honestly I would recommend on both of them, if you can, do this first before paint, because obviously this one I dropped a lot, and this was like my test one where I was figuring out what's going to work. So I have to repaint this, but I also need to repaint the other one, especially since I did kind of cut up some stuff back here. Not that this will be visible, but I don't want it to cause any kind of issues down the line. So I'll just clean it up, give it another coat of paint. Plus I want more of a shine off of this anyway, so I'll give it a couple good coats of clear, and it should look good. But honestly, these don't look too bad. It's just, it's not, mint, and I want it to be mint. So from what would be visible on this one especially, it's fine. But so I'm gonna give it a light sand, and I'll do some more primer and paint on these guys. All right, so we're running down a coat of primer just to get these guys prepped and repainted. All right guys, so if you look, we did get our brakes and our rotors on. The rotors I initially bought were just a little too big, and so I was having issues, so I did have to wait, buy some new ones, and then get them sent out. And so now we have those on. I actually have my pads and everything test fit. Everything's not like fully tightened, but it's in its place and everything fits well with this new setup. So I put the wheel on and test fit just to make sure, and it cleared the wheel, and when the wheel was on, these rotors could spin freely, so you weren't hearing any rubbing or anything, so it's really good. So basically we're gonna break down what we did now that it's on. So these are rotors that fit a 0304 Cobra, I believe is where I got these from. And so I bought these from LMR. The calipers, if you didn't see the previous time, the calipers are actually 13 to 18 Cadillac ATS calipers. So there's a Brembo performance package with these calipers. And then you can find the pads and stuff on AutoZone or something like that if you can't get them online. I'll link everything I found online. And so basically, other than that, there's a kit that a place S&S Engineering sells. And in that kit, so here's their little card. In this kit, you can check out their Facebook page and it'll show you. In this kit though, they come with a couple of gold inserts that you can actually, you tap out the existing ones in the calipers, you tap those new ones in, and basically it gives you an offset so you don't have to drill into your spindles for your caliper to fit. You do have the option to just drill out your spindles and use bigger bolts if you want. It's totally up to you. The kit was about 150 bucks or so, but it also gives you a small spacer plate to get this rotor to center up well within the caliper area. So if you'll look, this is actually the spacer. So it came unpainted, so I just painted it. And then some of that other paint is me just painting my brake dust shields and stuff like that. So you'll see the new dust shields aren't those old rusted out pieces of junk. Here's my old caliper I actually have. So this is actually off the 1314 GT with the Brembo package. So I thought that would fit, but it didn't. And this is just another look at the dust shield. So painted. I really should have painted my spindles. I wish I did, but honestly it'll all be covered up anyways. But just because now everything under here looks clean except for the spindles. But anyway, the spacer plate that came with the kit goes on here. It's honestly a really straightforward kit. Just note, basically the only brakes that'll fit, the only rotors that'll fit, obviously I had an issue, so the only rotors that will fit, I contacted them directly, and he said the ones that work with his kit are the 11 to 14 GT rotors, just regular rotors, not the Brembo ones, or any that fit a Cobra, which are like 13 or 13.25 inch, something like that. So any ones that'll fit like a 9904 Cobra will fit, and any ones that'll fit an 11 to 14 GT no Brembo package will also fit with this kit. And so this side's not done, of course, obviously, so I'll show you how we do that, how I did it on the other side. But step one is to put that spacer plate on. Step two is obviously to put our rotor on, so let's go get that. And then step three is truthfully just to put this on, put the caliper on the back here. And so you'll just slide the caliper in. All right, so fully seated, our rotor looks like this. Really nice rotors. I did get some slotted and drilled ones. Same for the backs, but for the rear, if I didn't already explain it, I basically kept the braking system the exact same. So I didn't change out the calipers. I did upgrade the brake lines to stainless steel lines because the ones I bought came in a kit. So why not upgrade them? And then I just painted this factory calipers and stuff and kept the rest the same. Of course, your front brakes do most of your stopping for you, so it should be enough. But also I didn't really want to dump the cash into putting like a Brembo setup for the back. So that's one of the main benefits to this kit, is it allows you the ability to put Brembos on your car without paying that premium. So you get a nice, good, big brake upgrade. I think my calipers, one was 90, one was 110, because Amazon has like a lightly used program where, like, when you're looking at something on the caliper or any item on Amazon really, if you scroll down, like sometimes underneath it'll say used like new or whatever the condition may be. And so for me, I think my passenger one was 90 instead of whatever it was, which only brand new may have been like 130 or something. But my passenger one was 90, and there was like a scratch on it, which didn't matter to me because I'm painting them obviously. So it didn't really matter. There was a scratch on it. And then the driver one was like 110, and it actually ironically had more scratches on it than the passenger one, which was cheaper, but same thing. Didn't really care. They're like blims. I don't care. I'm painting it anyway. So if I can save 40 bucks on the calipers, cool, why not? Pads I got from AutoZone, not too expensive either, of course, but I think you can find pads online. I just didn't know which ones to get online, so now I can probably put a link to some that'll be on Amazon or something. But at the time, I couldn't find out any, so I just went into AutoZone with the caliper and said, hey, I need pads for this. This goes to a Cadillac, whatever. But other than that, like I said, I got the kit, but it allows you to get these brakes really cheap. So I maybe I was like close to 200, under 200 for the calipers, and then 50 for the pads and 150 for the kit. So you're looking at maybe $400 total for a Brembo conversion on your New Edge Mustang. Obviously I have a Coyote, but I mean any New Edge you can do this on. Throw in an extra $50 for paint match, color match paint, and the little Brembo logos, which you can also get on Amazon, so I'll link that down below as well. But throw an extra 50 bucks for those. They were really cheap, but it came out really good. If you look, the paint matches the car really well. So yeah, I mean, this Brembo setup, very affordable, very budget. Even if you're upgrading your brakes to like the cheap ones, which is like the Power Stop or whatever, you're gonna pay close to this anyway. So I think this is the way to go. I left my rears alone. I don't think I'll have a problem, but I'll let you know if I do, if I feel like I need to upgrade those as well. But front should do most of our stopping anyway, so I'm happy with it. All right, so to assemble them, basically it's just like your regular brakes. So these will go right into your spindles now, these bolts that were included. And there's two of them. And if you look back here, you know, you just slide your caliper in between your spindle here. And you'll put your bolt in and thread it in the back. Obviously there's a top and a bottom one, but so once you get them hand tight, you can run them down with a ratchet, electric ratchet, whatever you want. So I have an electric one. But yeah, very simple, easy install, couple bolts. I think you can buy a specific banjo bolt to fit these because it's not the same. And so I can show you that. I'll link that down below. But for me, I bought a whole kit, obviously stainless steel lines. Since I upgraded the rears, makes sense to upgrade the front. So with my stainless steel lines, actually came the correct banjo bolt.